Okay, let's see how good this camera works. Decided I'd let everybody know what I've been up to for the last little bit here. This is the dungeon. And, yeah. What you see is what you get. My whole thing started, well, I guess basically it started right there. Pretty good sized crack in the foundation. Put hydraulic cement in there, which I'm thinking pretty much sealed up the crack. If I can get over here without breaking my neck. Right there's where the water comes in, and you can still see just a hairline crack. Just right in there. I need to take all the paint off the wall, which will be a joy. There's another crack right there you can see. But they're not big enough for that hydraulic cement to get into, and I don't want to tear them open just to seal them back shut. But what that does then is it led to water being down here. You can see it's a little wet. I don't know for sure. It looks awfully dark on the screen, but now the black stuff that you see is actually grit from a sandblaster that I had trying to sandblast the wall. That didn't work. So that's where I'm at with that. But hopefully, well, I can't find it now, but I've got a jug of Thorough Seal, and that will take care of that. And then I won't have moisture in the basement anymore. But in the meantime, and I have not ever had really any moisture back in this area, I'd say from the compressor over. But at one time there was, and if you look back here in this back corner, you can see that there is mold on the bottom corner there. And it actually looks worse in the camera than it really is, but just the same, it's mold. This wall right here used to extend all the way across, and then if you look carefully you can see where the 2x4 was right here, and that came around and then over under the compressor. So there was a closet here and a closet there, but all those walls were extremely moldy. The one actually had mushrooms growing under it, so that's how bad that was. But like I say, I'm pretty sure I've got my leak fixed for the most part, and I really don't think I will get water over this far again. And then I wanted to open this up. I'm getting dizzy. I can't imagine what you guys are feeling. I wanted to open this all up, and my biggest concern, or I should say concerns, are this right here. You can't really tell, but I mean, I don't have a lot of headroom down here anyhow, and then you got another 8-inch beam underneath the post, and that causes problems. And then you see the same thing is right here. They've got a beam under the beam, and it doesn't allow for a lot of head clearance. So my whole goal was basically to get rid of these posts, and well, these posts, but in turn these also. And so I've started tearing out all the walls and getting rid of all the moldy stuff, and probably should have been in the hospital once or twice because of lung problems, but then when I started getting into this, I don't know if you can see all that up in there, but I've got a big crack there, and a big crack right there above my hand, and another one right here, and this one right here, and that goes through right there. And originally I had planned on putting floor jacks down here. And I have the one beam marked out, and I probably still will put one floor jack right here, and then another one about right there where that, about a foot to the left of that white paint smudge, whatever. And that would be equally spaced along that beam there, and allow me quite a bit of openness. And then in turn, I was going to do the same thing with this beam here, but with this problem right here, I'm just nervous about putting a beam in here, or putting a floor jack right, it would have to be about right here. And I've got quite a ways to go yet. And, obviously it's sagging right over there, so. And just from the wall where the 2x4 is leaning up against to right there where that box is, it drops about a ½ inch. So my next plan was and is to build about a 10-foot wall right underneath that beam. Right now, my whole plan is to just coat it with Blandex and paint it white. And 10-foot wall will bring me about right out to right about there, just shy of this wall here. And then I'll go ahead and remove this wall. This is another one of the old walls that, like I said, you can't really see, but it, there's water damage down there, and I don't want any of that in my house anymore. So I will have a 10-foot wall, and that leaves me just, I can't remember now. It was real close to 8 foot. So I'll have an 8-foot by 10-foot, stall right here that I can use for storage or whatever. And whether or not I want to frame that up and then make just a big closet or whatever out of it, I can do whatever. Also, just so that everybody knows, there is, along this wall here, there is 6 to 8 feet of living space on the other side of that wall. I can't access it right now. So it looks like at one time, you can see the concrete and the small brick in there. It looks like they had punched a hole in that wall for one reason or another. So I plan on punching a hole in the wall, and I'll build an access panel so that I can get up in there and I can close it off and keep throwing bug bombs in there, but at least I'll have an access panel, so if I need to run wires or something like that, then I can do it. Because right now it's kind of a pain in the neck. But otherwise, really, the rest of that wall doesn't look bad. Now you can see here too, they at one time had this all framed out and drywalled, and then that wall was also framed out and drywalled with 1x, and then from about that 2x4 hanging there over where the white paint is, they just had it brick or block. I guess I'm just saying that whoever watches this, if they want to comment or think about anything for me, I'm open to suggestions as to what to do down here, but that's part of it that's driving me nuts, is that I have no plans down here, so I don't know where to go or what to do. And before anybody offers, I don't want to put a bedroom down here, because in order to make it legally a bedroom, it has to have an egress window, and I don't have any room for an egress window down here. So that is that, the basement escapade. And like I say, I will hopefully maybe even get a small video put together tomorrow, but hopefully I'll have my wall framed up and skinned, and maybe even some power going inside there, and have that wall removed. I guess that's where I plan on being at this time tomorrow night.